Is this live?
Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Oh man, we need a bassist to cover that, Sam. I want like a raw, like metal.
That would
Do 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 do. That bass line kicks so much ass, Sam.
Oh yes, it does. And welcome to the Whitfield Report, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got a jam-packed show for you tonight. And we've got
There's been a lot of news, Sam.
We've got some a lot of news. But before we get into the meat of the show, obviously, folks, we have The Fourth Estate, my latest novella, released in March of this year. April just concluded. Happy May 1st, by the way. Tremendous sales in March and April. And so pick up your copy of the Fourth Estate on Amazon, and check out this cool cover and and this handsome bastard too.
But Sam, I have to ask. This is really important. Where can they get this book? Multiple sources, right? Through Amazon, as well as you can get the audio book, right?
Yeah, you can get the book on Amazon, and you can also buy the audiobook on Audible. And also, if you have Kindle Unlimited, which is the ebook subscription service, you can read all my books as part of that subscription. So
I like the audiobook version because I can't read Braille, and so that means that I can't enjoy the book on a paperback, right?
Right.
Wait.
Unironically, though, I was just commenting to my wife earlier because I handed it off to her on the show ceremonially, Sam, when I was done with it. And she said she hadn't read it. And so I had to be a bit snippy. And I was talking about how great the book was. And I pointed out the good paper. And also, your very specific font choice is very easy on the eyes. And that's not ironic at all. I'm not joking. It actually is better than a lot of books I've read. Particularly, it's just kind of without being if anybody's had the problem of you like large print, but large print books are 150 pounds.
Yeah,
this is a happy medium in between that fits me just perfect. I wanted to point that out, Sam, and you went out of your way to make sure that was the case. Yes.
So are you blind, or
this book is triple readable?
No, that was my next transition to where did you get the shade, Sam?
It is easy. He's wearing
sunglasses at night, folks.
Yes, and I am wearing my sunglasses at night. Folks, summertime is coming, and maybe you live in Florida like I do, or maybe you're a podcaster with a wonky eye and you don't want the audience to, see your wonky eye.
That tight. Spoilers in 5p over here. Sorry, Sam.
Or, in any case, you need shades, right? For an occasion. Well, my friends at Shady Rays
that's where you got it.
Have you covered?
That explains why they look so fresh, Sam.
Yeah, they're Shady Rays. And if you click on the link in the description of this video and or podcast if you're listening on audio, you can get 15% off your order by clicking the link in the description. Also, Shady Rays are cheaper.
15%, Sam? So you went and you talked to these Shady Rays people, right? And Sam was like, look, I love the sunglasses, okay? But my audience, they deserve more. And you said, I want a discount. And Shady Ray said 15% just for the Whitfield Report audience, ladies and gentlemen. So act
yeah.
Right now at Shady Ray's headquarters, I bet they're going 50%. Can't do 15%. Sam just promised them 15%, 20%. There's no way we could do 30%. 50%. There's no way.
No way.
Well,
But if you act now, before they change their mind, and they might, you never know, Sam. Sometimes they're like, look, costs are going up. Everybody knows economics is hard, right? And they're just like, maybe no more discount. But for today, right now, you can get 15% off your fresh looking Shady Rays, just like Sam.
And so just click on the promo code in the description, and you can get your Shady Rays today.
Yeah. Chibi in the chat says, Sam, you're so cool with your sunglasses. And then there's a sunglasses emoji.
So
that's where you get them, Shady Rays. Do they have more designs, Sam, or is it just the one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they have multiple designs. And listen, they all start at $50, which for designer sunglasses is really good to start.
Well, I know that like these are kind of like designer glasses, right? And they are in a similar price range, and not nearly as fresh looking.
So they're $50, and we get 15% off. So they're $5.
That's it. Yep, $5.
That's a fucking deal, dude.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's in the news this week, Sam? That's what the people come to see on the Whitfield Report, right?
Oh,
news. Hard news, right? So we've established a legacy of journalism and integrity.
The news, well, Shmuley wrote a fascinating article on my Substack refuting a piece that I did in 2017.
Wow. So you wrote a piece. What's the piece about that you wrote?
So the piece that I wrote about was about how the word Nazi is the new N-word, which it's
a very edgy take, Sam.
Which I still stand by that.
I mean,
because
there is a level of it being used to dehumanize people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. But that is also like a clickbaity.
But I don't know
title.
I don't know why you would say that about them. Like I've never heard somebody use Nazi instead of that word, right?
Yeah, that's true.
What word, Shmuel?
You know, the word. You're the one who wrote the article. You explain to the people what it is.
Yes.
I mean, my article was.
You know what, Sam? Like maybe you should read Shmuley's article. Maybe that would be the funniest way to do it.
Well, I did, and it's very good. You mean like narrate? You mean like narrate the article?
Yeah, and give your thoughts because it's a refutation of you, right?
I mean, it's a reputation, but
unless Shmuley wants to read it, but I think it's funnier if you read it.
Yeah, I think you should. I would love it. And everybody go check out the Substack. Go sub to it. Share it around like wildfire.
Link to the
Substack.
Link in the description. Sam,
in the description. How easy. And what does it cost to go read the Substack article, Sam?
For right now, the Substack is free.
Free? You're just giving this stuff away?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I plan to keep my articles free. I'm working on a book, and I might publish the whole book behind a paywall at some point. But yeah,
Nice.
Other than that, it'll be free.
You should, Shmuel, you should consider publishing your book through Amazon KDP, where you can.
I would. Yeah. No, my book, I absolutely would do that. But a version where people can just read it on Substack for like, a $20 sub or something.
Shout out to Dino Nuggies.
Yeah.
Cool.
For real.
Yeah.
But no, my article, I mean, it's in response to something Sam wrote, but the actual article is just about the history of persecution, of political beliefs throughout American history, and particularly I bring up the Brown Scare, which is something that's like very, very rarely ever mentioned. That was in the 1930s, and it predates McCarthyism, right? It was
right.
Senator Dye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would bring up like conservatives and actual Nazis and stuff like that. They brought people before them, and they basically speared them. And yes, these people lost their job. They lost credibility. A lot of them were just anti-Roosevelt people, right? American firsters, people who wanted isolationism or were critical of World War II.
Right. The even pre-paleocon, because the paleocons was like a reconstruction of that in like the 50s and 60s, like John Birchers and stuff.
Yeah, and so when they talk about
also, John Birch Society, there's another like political persecution group we could talk about.
Well, I've actually got Shmuley's article on the Substack up here on Whitfield's report.
Notice, I want to point out his headline is as good clickbait as yours without being edgy. Because it is edgy, but it's backed up by like fact. This is great.
It is.
You just got one-upped by the CEO, Sam.
And it is right. Yeah, wow. I wrote this. Yeah, I wrote this a long time ago, back in 2017.
Yeah, so I open with a quote that I'm directly replying to.
Yeah, I would. See, this is the type of reply that I can appreciate. So Shmuel says, this is a reply to my good friend Sam in his article, which you can find here, which I haven't read in my own article in a while. So
he does start with a quote from the article directly.
So
it's basically he's addressing this quote as I understand it.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Unfortunately, another form of discrimination plagues our society and popular culture today in a much more subtle way. Political beliefs and identity are the new taboo in 2017, just as racial identity and ideas were back in 1967. In a world where much of the media, technology, and social media outlets and educational institutions are run predominantly by those on the far left political spectrum, the term Nazi is now casually thrown around as the new N-word to stigmatify, discredit, and ultimately shut down those who hold even slightly right-of-center beliefs and are therefore quote-unquote inherently evil. Okay, so Shmuley writes, what Sam is describing is anything but new in American life. I will start with the persecution of the anarchists at the turn of the 20th century. So we have the OG Red Scare. In 1886, labor disputes came to a head. Clashes with the cops had reached a tipping point, and a bomb exploded, sending bits of shrapnel into the flesh of cops. the media already had hyped the people up, and bomb-throwing anarchists became a term that was known by the populace. In response, the police decided to round up the anarchists regardless of whether or not they had a hand in the bombing.
Yeah, and then now I'll list off the individuals who were persecuted for their beliefs, right?
Yep, so you list them all off.
You can read them.
Yeah, no, like they were people, man. These were, look, am I an anarchist? No, okay. But and this is why free speech is important. And Sam, it's kind of the core philosophy of right to offend in a way too, is what he's kind of getting at here. Like these people were just like, hey man, I don't think we should have a government, but some guy that also said that did a bad thing, and they persecuted, and they had names and their circumstances to what happened to them, right?
Yeah.
Our government did that, whether, you like it or not.
And this is important. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. In the next article, I'll be summing it up. But like, you'll notice parallels to today's world in some of the actions taken by the state against them.
Yeah. It's the same sort of actions to censor dissident voices that's being used now.
Indeed. So I don't want to read the whole entire article because I think you, the audience, should read this for yourselves. But
okay, fair enough.
a lot of this I did not know about.
Right.
Actually,
and it's funny because he sent me a draft today just to get thought on it, and I just started shitstorming with him like all the other people that we could think of off the top of our heads. Like an interesting case that doesn't get talked about enough, and I brought it up when we were saying that, is that me, Shmuley, and a couple other people we know sat there and listened in real time after the murder, as I see it, of Lavoy Finicum, a grandfather, a rancher, a good Christian, and one cowboy who stood for freedom, was shot in the back like a dog by the FBI for the crime of being on his way to talk to the sheriff about an allegation that they were trespassing on what was considered federal property. And if you look into the case, Sam, this federal property was an abandoned ranger shack. And what did they do? They made it nicer. They repaired it, and they used it as a kitchen to make food for the ranchers. Okay. The ranchers in the area whose land was being taken from them by the federal government, the Bureau of Land Management, BLM. Right. And he was organizing food for starving farmers, essentially. And that was considered trespassing, worthy of his death on the side of the road. And then not only that, the FBI agent that did it flipped off his corpse.
If I might just read, because one of the things that I love about the article is I get to talk about the Brown Scare. This is something that's left out.
Yeah,
a lot of people know. So what most people do not know is that the House Committee on Un-American Activities, based in Epic, was predated by the Special Committee on Un-American Activities, commonly known as the DIES Committee.
Right.
Was initially formed in 1938 with the primary aim of investigating fascist and Nazi sympathizers within the United States. Oh, what was the 1930s? Known as the Red Decade. That seems to be left out of the courses, and one might need to dive into the deep depths of Wikipedia to find it out. And then I go on to list people whose crime were being critical of Roosevelt, being isolationist, being anti-interventionist, along with people who were legitimately engaged in fascist political beliefs, which, last time I checked, not illegal.
But a large contingent of them were just simply, by isolationists, you could put it even simpler than that, anti-war. Because World War I was a slog of human life on all sides, including the American life, and we didn't think it was worth our time, a lot of people, okay, until Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor turned the whole like thinking process around, because FDR was then able to sell, we were attacked, patriotism and everything. But before that, the sentiment was heavily anti-war, particularly in the urban areas, because new immigrants, in a lot of cases, Italian, Irish, and whatever, they would have draft riots because they didn't want to be drafted.
Hey, Sam, do you know what the slogan was that a lot of these people were under?
For the Brown scare.
Yeah.
What was the slogan?
America first.
America first, you say, huh?
Yeah. It's almost as if they persecuted conservatives at this point by calling them Nazis and fascists.
Yeah.
But no. But that's new, Sam.
So you say their beliefs were, not wanting to be in war, economic independence, sound money, I believe, is a big principle among a lot of them. It's weird. It's like, what's this party? You know?
So I mean, basically, it's just to say that, like, your thesis in the 2017 was incorrect, and it's not necessarily even to pick on you, but like, this is like a common belief that sort of the political reprisals and attacks on people, and smearing them as this is some kind of like new tactic. This just goes back literally to the 30s.
Yeah,
it goes back to the 1800s. Like Lincoln did this shit in the Civil War too.
We always hear the decry of the Red Scare, and there's some truth to it, right? But like the Brown Scare is left out because we just allow them. We just never talk about the times in the past where we were politically persecuted unjustly.
Let me ask you this, everybody on the chat, whoever wants to chime in. When is the last time, besides when I said it now, or if I've said it, if you're the type of person that talks to me a lot, you might have heard it more than most people, right? But besides me, when is the last time you've heard anybody discuss the Lavoy Finicum case?
I only like once before. I think Glenn Beck brought it up maybe like once a couple of years ago. But that
was One Cowboy Stands for Freedom, man. I followed that guy for years. He was because like he wasn't one of these like annoying libertarians. He's just this rancher, right? He's an actual cowboy out there talking about the government is stealing all of our land. That's why. What do you think happened to him? He was making videos explaining the government stealing all these ranchers' land. And then he was shot by like the sister organization of the same organization that he was exposing. Like literally, they were poking holes in his water feed for his cattle, right? And that's what started it, because they were trying to make him not have water rights to feed them.
So my answer is never. I'd never heard of it before.
So it's almost like the Fourth Estate was fucking with this guy, basically.
Yeah. Well, he fucked back. That's the problem, Sam. That's why he ended up dead in a ditch. And that's why, as Shmuley so eloquently put it, political persecution is as American as apple pie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Now, to be fair, I wouldn't really refute anything that Shmuley is saying, but I will say that it is disappointing that from I guess middle school to college, like I'd always heard about the Red Scare, but like I hadn't even heard of the Brown Scare, really.
Of course not, because the Red Scare was the kind of people who were dragged before it were in the media and academia and actually were in a position to sit there and whine about it. Whereas like the right doesn't talk about the persecutions from the 1940s and 30s, right? They don't complain about the Red Decade.
Let's go even
John
further.
Birchers.
Yeah, the 60s with the John Birchers. And of course, since we've mentioned the House Un-American Activities Committee, how could we not mention the persecution of Joe McCarthy?
Yeah.
Not only in his life, okay, but in academia and even in little schools, they teach anti-McCarthyism as if it's objective fact that Joe McCarthy was like the worst thing ever and there were no communists ever. And it's all provable that there were. Alger Hiss, if you're one of those people that you've only, which you've read in school or whatever, and you think that there were no communists and Joe McCarthy was just a mean man pointing his finger at celebrities, Alger Hiss was the Secretary of State, and he was an agent for the Russians because he was a communist.
Oh, Max, I actually saw a video on that today on Alger Hiss.
Yeah.
The Nixon Foundation actually put out a video on Alger Hiss.
The Secretary of State was a communist, and he was not the only one. It's not that there. See, they compare it to burning witches, but the witches were real, Sam.
Yeah, no, I know.
And then what happens to him? He ends up in a nut house over it because they ruined his life.
Would you mind if?
But this is because we're the boomer conservatives have failed us to such a degree by never highlighting the points in which there was like legitimate persecution. Part of that, though, is probably the National Review crowd and their love of being censorious and canceling people on the right that they deemed not polite enough, right? So
actually, if I may, while we're on the subject, most of the listeners know that I love the Rich Nixon Foundation. They actually just put out a video today where President Nixon talks about the Alger Hiss case and why the establishment.
Because I didn't even see that, but when you talk about McCarthy, you kind of have to point to Alger Hiss and say, look, we have absolute proof that this guy was working with the Russians.
Yeah, so let's play this because Nixon brings this point up. So
the reason the Hiss case sent the establishment right up the wall was that up to that time, those that talked about communism in America were considered to be nuts or demagogues or worse. There were several reasons for that. They said first that as far as Hiss was concerned, that he was probably telling the truth, that he was not a communist, even after the evidence became overwhelming that he was, or at least that he had served the communist purpose. Second, there were those that said, well, even though he might have been a communist and turned over papers, secret papers, documents, and so forth, as he did in great volume to communist espionage agents, it didn't make any difference because, one, the papers weren't important, even though they weren't declassified, even at the point that 10 years later. Or second, and this was really distorted reasoning, because the Soviet Union had been our ally. They overlooked the point that Hiss remained a communist at the time that Chambers left the Communist Party during the period of Hitler-Stalin pact, when certainly you couldn't say that Stalin and communism was an ally of the United States. And then third, there was a deeper reason. It had to do with the fact that people thought that the Hiss case and the investigation of Hiss and his eventual conviction reflected on a whole generation of people that had supported the Roosevelt foreign policy. I never forget an evening in Washington when one of these Washington hostesses, not in the great tradition of Germaine de Stael and the others who had their salons back in the 19th century and the 18th century, who used to get people together for serious talk, but in the tradition of getting controversial people together in a room to see what fireworks would happen. But in this case, one of the guests was Paul Porter, a Washington lawyer, a very good lawyer, a Democrat, a liberal, and I was there with him. And the Hiss case, this is right after Hiss had admitted that he knew Chambers, after first denying that he had known him, and after the evidence was overwhelming that he was not only a communist, but had delivered papers to a communist espionage agent. And I remember Paul Porter got red in the face and he pounded the table. This is at the conclusion of dinner.
A spy, in other words.
Damn if Hiss admits he was a communist or whether he was. These investigations are doing a great deal of damage to the country because they reflect on the Roosevelt foreign policy. Now, that was simply ridiculous. I was a supporter of the Roosevelt foreign policy. I was a supporter of the Marshall Plan. I was supportive, this was later on, which was a continuation of the rest. I was a bipartisan supporter. But here it was, the attitude of this whole generation of people who had a vested interest in opposing anybody who was exposed to communism.
So again,
wow, that could not have been more on topic with Shmuley's article. No, Shmuley, you still with it?
Perfect. And I think that there's an aspect of the Roosevelt administration that is kind of lost on people. The degree to which the Roosevelt administration and the New Deal brought forth literally very, very, very talented, intelligent, and competent young people into positions of power and influence.
In both industry, politics, media, everything.
Yeah.
Across the
these
board.
Were very serious people. And so, yes, they were very loyal to the New Deal, to Roosevelt.
It's been referred to in some ways, this Rooseveltism, right? Because he had 12 years and basically almost dictatorial control of this country. It's referred to as like the American style socialism, where there's still this element of meritocracy inherent to it, because it's all the Dust Bowl guys, right, who were maybe working on a chain gang at best and robbing houses for food, can now get a shovel breaking job, and if they work their ass off, they might get to be foreman, which makes them a construction guy for the rest of their life, right?
They basically, like Rooseveltism, right? Created a new government that basically surpassed and replaced the government that had been established by Lincoln.
Yes. It was a shift in American politics of that large of a degree, for sure.
And so that sort of explains the degree to which like people in power and influence would be fiercely loyal to Roosevelt, the New Deal, that kind of thing. Something that we kind of have a hard time understanding. I think that it's very important when we talk about political power and whatnot and what we can do. Our primary goal should be creating a new form of that for us, right? If we can get enough people power, right, to get an executive or get people in office in order to create new institutions, to replace the old institutions, to grant young, competent, I'm talking competent, loyal people into these positions of power, they will be loyal to us for the rest of their careers.
Right.
This is how you take over institutions. This is how you
don't do it from like screaming into the void.
Populism is useless unless you're creating a new elite.
Right.
That is the point of
it.
Because you have to replace the old elite.
Yes.
Because if you don't, it's the worst thing you could possibly do. And the best way to do it, by the way, is without a drop of blood being spilled, but over time. That's how the left did it. That's why everything you see today, I was talking about this all week. Was I not in the Discord? I pointed out, and it ends up getting people with that song stuck in their head because there's the 4 shot at Kent State University, right? The entire modern leftist establishment is built on the blood of those martyrs. That day is what built like modern neo shit libism. For sure.
Yeah.
Across the whole boomer demographic, if you were on the left, that solidified you behind the idea of like fight the power, but also they took over all the institutions. See, so competent people who weren't that political went on to be successful in other areas of boomerism, right? But the political elite stayed back to teach other people their extreme politics. That was their whole fucking plan. They took over the institute. It's called the Long March. Like, sorry,
right.
Sam. I'm going off again.
No, you're right. You are right, Max. And that is kind of what I do kind of want to piggyback on that, because that is something that I think a lot of conservatives miss. And it's not just politics, but it's also, in entertainment and in media too. the left did the long march through the institutions, education, media, entertainment. That's why when people ask, well, Sam, why are you writing why are you writing political thrillers and novels? Why not write a political
Well, Sam, for the same reason that Right to Offend Media is proud to present not one, but 2 upcoming new podcasts, Sam. And I have for you a little bit about the first one, which is off the cuff, Sam, because I'm a firm believer in this project personally, both personally and professionally, actually. These are guys, all 3 of which I have the utmost faith in that it's going to be fun and that they know what they're talking about, and they're very different enough that it'll make a good dynamic. And so it's one of my best friends, like, in the world, Core, and I've known him forever. I've met him in real life. The joke is that at an Italian restaurant, they confused us for a gay couple one time, and so we got free garlic bread, and they played the violin like it was like Lady and the Tramp or something, like we were gonna kiss, and it was awkward. But the food was delicious, and they were very polite. So it was fine. There's a couple like white girls, that were like, "Oh my God, this is my chance to like virtue signal," and we're just like, "Hey, that garlic bread was tasty, Sam." That's how they get you. It starts with the garlic bread, leads to the butt sex. Anyway, also joining him is going to be our co-host, so the man himself, the machine, the legend, Morpheus, and also joining them is a longtime friend, and I've done many shows with him, Tim, and the 3 of them are going to talk about video games and pop culture and stuff. And so here's the little type read for you, Sam. We're going to do a little live read. I know that's not something we normally do here on the Whitfield Report, but join the trio that says the Adstravaganza, Sam, and we're selling out right for free.
Yeah,
yeah, so easy to do.
And folks, I also want you to notice that like Max, we're selling out so hard that like Max is even wearing a button-down shirt tonight.
That's right, Sam.
Folks.
At least chat's being nice to me tonight. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm still smoking weed though. Sorry. Join the trio of gaming enthusiasts on an epic adventure through the world of games and gaming culture. Meet our 3 dynamic co-hosts, mutual friends of friends, as they share their passion for all things gaming in each exciting episode. Here's why you should tune in to Bits and Bones. You like that, Sam?
Wow. Yeah, I actually do like that.
What to expect? Engaging discussions on latest game releases, trends, and industry news. Hilarious anecdotes and personal gaming experience shared by the hosts. In-depth reviews, recommendations, and tips for gamers of all levels. Special guests from the gaming community adding unique perspectives to the conversation. And so, Right to Offend Media, meaning there's no censorship on this network, Sam. I mean, like, platform censor, but we've kind of just learned to roll with the punches on that one, haven't we? And it works to our advantage, so fuck them. Yeah.
Well,
we're a little bit punk rock over here, a little bit DIY, so...
Well, and big shout out to the good folks at Rumble for helping to make that happen.
Thank you, good brother Max, for reading that out. I was having some issues.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm actually looking now that you're here. We can kind of just off the cuff about the project. You guys are hyped for it, right? It seems like
absolutely.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, we've been getting together behind the scenes, just bullshitting, trying to get some chemistry going on, and the guys are great.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, right? I was supposed to have a type read for the second one, but I don't know if she sent it. Did you send me for the girls cast? Because it's the big debut, and you had a deadline, Oh, you get a break because you're okay. So they get a break because they're women. We'll give them a little bit then. I'm not going to do back-to-back ad reads like the plan was, Sam. But yes, we got 2 new shows. Can I give the title? Yes. Okay. The title of the podcast featuring 4 married women is going to be The Sandwich Makers program.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Now, I said that as a joke, figuring my wife was going to, throw something at me and, I'd use up one of my strikes, Sam, even before the show started. And actually, she reminded me, because I kind of forgot, that she had previously been wanting to make a show called The Sandwich Makers with somebody else, because the joke was they were actually going to make sandwiches or do sandwich recipes and then talk about, I don't know, girl shit, right? And then that's what they're going to be talking. This is my real ad for it, rather than the bullet points that she'll give me. But they're all 4 of them are like married women, and they want to talk about like girl stuff. That's as far as I know. And like, I told them they can say whatever they want, because there's no way they're going to be too offensive for Rumble. Come on, it's 4 girls. I say that, and then they're going to like be way edgier than us, Sam. Maybe even more popular because they're chicks.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have a certain magnetism that seems to work.
If anybody's going to be offensive, it's going to be us fucking gamers.
He even wore an undershirt so he could control his wild, manly chest hair for the evening, so we could keep this professional.
So you're telling me that we're launching a gaming podcast and a woman's podcast
and a woman's podcast at the same time? Yeah.
Yep.
It's never been done before.
This could be great.
Yes. Thank you.
It will be great.
I am a genius, or I'm fired.
We need to find some TERFs to start a podcast, and then
yes,
like incels.
Oh my God, yes.
Just have every range of unallowable opinion.
2 TERFs and 2 incels discuss the news. Find me TERFs, find me incels, chat. Let's hook them up. That's content. I'm the chief content officer, Sam. So
wait. I've got it. I've got it. What if we did matchmaking with TERFs and incels? Huh?
There's some kind of premise there.
I mean, look, the
I think the dating with TERFs and incels.
Hold on, like maybe you take the TERFs and the incels and you put them in teams, and you do a reality show that's kind of like The Road Rules.
Yeah, but see, like, my premise too is that like the TERFs are always complaining that there are no good men around, right? And then the incels are always complaining that they can't get girls, right?
Oh man, we've been ignoring chat, Sam. We're not good shills because we don't have like parasocialism going with chat. So let's go back for a second here. Dino Nuggy showed up in the chat, a subscriber, right? Yeah. Dino Nuggy 117 says, "Why does Shmooly always have to taint this amazing talk show with his presence?" Yeah, fair. I believe he's got limited time, so we appreciate him. But yeah, Dino Nuggy maybe not so much.
I mean,
we appreciate the support, Dino Nuggy. And his takedowns of Shmooly are always funny. So
yeah.
Plus, this is the Adstravaganza, and he's a subscriber, so he gets. Do we have to kick Shmooly?
I mean, we
got to put a price on kicking Shmooly.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, for
what's the goal? The goal will be to kick Shmooly from now on, right? But you got to set the goal. What's the dollar value of kicking Shmooly?
I'd say it's got to be at least like $50.
$50,
dude. Really?
Is it going to be a moving goal like DSP?
That's fair, though. $50. That's a kind of a good goal. It's achievable, but not necessarily. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
$50.
Listen. Times are tough, man. We're living in Bidenomics, so like $50, like
that's what I'm saying. That's going to cost you like a sandwich. Like
I don't know.
Cost of a sandwich.
Does Dino Nuggy think that's value though? Maybe not. He doesn't like Shmooly, but like that's $50, bro. You could buy like most of a video game with that.
I mean, like, I mean, look,
You could buy, if as a matter of fact, you could buy a half ounce of weed with that.
I mean, look, we can't kick Shmuley for like, nothing. We've got to make it like worth that. We've got to make it worth our while, right? So,
right,
like, dude, with inflation, that's not even fucking 20 pieces of silver, man.
I love
Dino Nuggy says you already got one incel to participate. Shmuley.
well,
Sick.
That hurts.
Dino Nuggy also says Shmuley sucks ass.
Hey, no, I don't.
You know what the answer to that is? No, you. But
Yeah.
no, hold on. You can't say anything to Dino Nuggy. He's a subscriber, and this is the Adstravaganza. We're selling out, Shmuley.
Well, thank you for the donation, Dino Nuggy.
Right. He said $50 for your soul. It sounds like he's pondering this. That's fair.
It's important to have different views in chat. That's good.
Yeah.
I can hear.
And speaking of awkward transitions, join the Sandwich Makers program each week for discussions about married life, pop culture, fandoms, recipes, and a bunch of other topics geared to women, for women, by women. There's women, Sam. Did you get it? That there's women. They're all women. It's a women's show.
I think that they should cover the topic of the spoonies if they don't know.
I'm definitely going to offer them suggestions, but as my wife pointed out when I said, hey, if you guys need something, I could give you like a list of topics just so you don't run out of stuff to talk about. And she turned to me and she said, you're talking about a show with 4 women, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. They'll have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's just spoonies are they're like teenage girls who are sick with something, and then they like go on social media, interact with each other, then decide that the doctors are just not diagnosing them with their actual ailments, and all of a sudden they're using like crutches and like bandages, and like they can't get out of bed even though they have like POTS or autism or whatever. Like they have a real disease that brings them to the hospital regularly, but now like they imagine they have everything under the sun for like attention. So
what?
Silly Kelly 420 says, "Yo, Smully, call me up." And then Chibi says, "Shut up, Kelly." And then Silly Kelly says, "Hit me up, Smully." I think he spells it wrong, so I'm saying Smully.
Well, Silly Kelly.
At least it's not smugly, right?
Is he a paid subscriber?
Silly Kelly is not a paid subscriber. No. Actually, if you want to know the truth about it, Silly Kelly was in Mersh's chat the other night. Can you believe that?
I can. He's pretty cringe.
Sam, we have a clip of that on the Gilded. Does anybody want to see Silly Kelly exposed as being in Mersh's chat?
I mean, I would for sure.
Okay, you got to go into the Mersh's Mush channel, Sam, because it's uploaded there. And then I don't know if you could show it, but that's where it is.
Yeah,
I have documented proof. Our good friend Dip, the good guy Dip, fucking actually got us this evidence. He was like, "Yo, I saw that Silly Kelly chick in Mersh's chat," and I was like, "No way! Silly Kelly's a fan of our show. How would Silly Kelly be so dumb to be a Mersh fan, right? Isn't that stupid? Wouldn't that be stupid if you were a Mersh fan?"
I mean that would be very stupid.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Sam's trying to catch up. Well, I also have another ad read. This came in anonymously, Sam, and it was they offered a lot, so I wanted to I wanted to. It's a unique proposal, Sam, that I think deserves some consideration, and it's Organovo. Have you heard of them? Yeah, heard about this? You read about this, Sam?
Or Organovo? No.
Yeah. So get ready to
Tell me
step
about
into
them.
the future of biomedical research with Organovo. Are you ready to witness groundbreaking advancements in drug development? Look no further than Organovo, where innovation meets life-saving potential. Join us on our exclusive live stream event as we unveil the next frontier in biomedical research, Sam. Doesn't that at least make you curious?
Very.
Well, what makes Organovo so unique is we've pioneered the development of pharmaceuticals through cutting-edge technology utilizing living tissue samples outside the body. Our revolutionary approach allows for more accurate, efficient, and ethical drug testing, paving the way for safer and more effective treatments. And you can discover the science behind the spectacle, joining our expert teams of researchers as they delve into the intricacies of tissue engineering and its transformative impact on drug discovery, witnessing live demonstrations of our state-of-the-art techniques and gaining insights into the future of personalized medicine. You can be a part of the progress. And to be clear, they don't have any drugs currently on the market. Right now, they are in clinical trials. Sam,
is there like
Very
a promo
interesting.
code for that? Or
Yeah,
I
promo
don't believe
code?
it was an email sent to me, and we said we would read anything, and I don't see anything wrong here. So this is a company or Organovo, Organovo. I guess you can look it up.
so is this some kind of
Do
troll?
they have-
Is this some kind of sick joke?
It could be. I don't know. We said we'd read ads for free, right?
Do they have a website or
I'm telling you, Sam, it just came in an email. I have a couple. I have another one like that. Do you want to get at the email random weird ones out of the way?
Well, I just got footage of Silly Kelly in merch.
Merch. Okay, yeah. I caught in 4K, Silly Kelly.
Yeah. What's going on?
Silly.
This is what happens when you're not a paid subscriber.
What?
Yes.
This is what happens when what?
Okay. Listen. Do you want the plea or not?
Yeah. Now, when a judge says this to you, okay, so let me let you in a little inside baseball here. If you've never been in legal trouble, when you enter a plea arrangement, right? When you enter a plea agreement, let's say you get in trouble for some minor shit, you got a little weed, whatever. Prosecution decides we're going to make a deal.
It's so
with you.
funny.
We're fine.
Mersh is an
straight on
expert
this,
at
right?
this.
We're just going to make a deal, right? At any point during the discussion of that deal, a judge can just yank that shit from you, lickety split. They don't have. Here's the thing: the prosecution can offer you a deal, and then you can take that deal. But if you both agree on a deal and the judge gets pissed, guess what they do? They fucking throw your deal right the fuck out.
Yes. Were you in the city of Taylor on
Silly Kelly in the chat.
And then
I don't
who
think taking
chimes
legal
in
advice
chat?
from you is a good idea. Why not? I've been arrested. Have you been arrested, Kelly? You ever been arrested before? You ever been through the system, as they say? You ever been to jail? You ever had to take a plea arrangement? You ever gotten charges thrown out in court? You ever taken a structured deal? Did you ever get your probation terminated early? Because I did all of these things. Now, I know you don't like me because everything you keep saying in the chat is some troll-ass comment. So I know you don't like me. But when you make fun of me, make fun of the shit that sticks. What I'm saying makes perfect sense.
Man,
Now,
shit
by the way, I'm not
stick to
giving
merch,
legal
right?
advice. I'm assuming fat cunt. Any woman with 420 in her name is a fat cunt. So listen, you fat cunt.
Fact.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about what to do when you're in the system. And everything I am saying right now, absolutely can be. Go ahead. Go take everything I just said. Pump it into ChatGPT or Google. Figure it out. Everything I'm saying makes total sense. Yes, you'll get early termination. Be a good person. Shake hands. Look people in the eye when you go to the probation office. Go sober. It's not hard.
November 20th.
Yeah, Kelly. Kelly. Sam,
you
just
see,
like I said, I deliver the goods, Sam. Silly Kelly exposed.
Let me give you a little inside baseball, silly Kelly. You have to pay us in order for us to like not expose you on live stream and not have clips of you prepared for of Mersh dunking on you for being fat.
Fat. You're a fat cunt, says Mersh.
Because if you're not a paid
Is
subscriber,
Mersh not the fattest cunt there is?
If you're not a paid sub, then like fucking synchronicity is going to catch up to you and harm you. Okay?
Right.
Wait.
God might hurt you. That's all I'm saying.
Let it
That's
be known.
not a threat. That's just an observation, you know?
There's a couple facts here on the Whitfield report, ladies and gentlemen. And one of them is that Silly Kelly's a fat cunt. And another one is that, you know, Shmuley eats people. And those are the only two that are true.
Well, Shmuley is also a kitten, right? He's got that.
Right. He's got the kitten energy. I guess that's the real one, right? I gave the joke one, and everybody was expecting the kitten energy, and that's,
What does kitten energy entail?
I don't know. You tell us. Like,
how about chat?
Chat.
Chat. How about you write
That's
out?
like a legit meme now. I don't know.
Dino Nuggies is one who always says that, so I feel like Dino Nug, like I'll even display it in chat too. Like if Dino Nuggies can like define what kitten energy is,
I'm pretty sure everybody can give their interpretation.
Well, I'm pretty sure we don't know. Do we know Dino Nuggies is a guy or a girl? I don't think it's ever been. Dino Nuggies is a pretty. Sam.
It sounds like some kind of gender neutral Zoomer.
Yeah,
you know, like one of those people with their endocrines all disrupted.
Sam, did you or did you not before the show tell us you do not know what a Dino Nuggie is?
I unfortunately did not know what a Dino Nuggie is.
Yeah,
you need to go get some.
Right?
They're delightful. I'm gonna have some after the show, probably.
Oh, that's so ironic that like you're gonna be snacking on some Dino Nuggie after you got shit on by Dino Nuggie in chat, and you couldn't say anything because he's a paid subscriber. That's pretty funny. You know, that gives him extra points just because he had to muzzle you, and he gets to just shit on you or they, them, he, her, them, though, thou. Zest, Lord.
Okay. So,
if you pay, if you become a paid subscriber, you can put your pronouns in chat, and then Sam will have to refer to you as it.
That is true.
Dino Nuggie says, "Think of the most frail ginger tabby."
Yeah,
4 hours old.
Yeah, that's how he's defining kitten energy. So I guess Shmuley is a tabby cat. Is a 4-hour-old
ginger tabby cat. Why ginger? That's specific, right? I see it. Didn't chat say black cat though? I think chat said black cat kitten energy.
Chat initially said black cat kitten energy, but you know,
Dino Nuggies is subscribers, so they get like preference over chat.
Yeah.
At least tonight, not normally. Like normally we treat everybody the same, but like tonight, it's the Adstravaganza, Sam.
Wasn't it Johnny Fox, who is by the way a overweight Caucasian man, but he had a bunch of women that based on his voice thought he was an overweight black fellow.
Yeah, and then he like talk dirty to them, and it's the cringiest shit ever. And
is it like that with kittens? Chat is unsure. Not sure what I am.
Yeah.
They said that's him though, so like Dino Nuggie's definitely doubling down on that's exactly it. And then Morpheus said with or because Morpheus, by the way, chat said he had his computer, and it's gonna be a fucking dick. That happens sometimes. But he said with or without the brain cell at Dino Nuggy, like referring to Shmuley. So Shmuley's getting dunked on by a fellow co-host from chat.
I don't get it.
Jay.
I don't get it. I know you're calling me dumb, but...
Hey, you still have the floor. Nobody's ponied up $50 yet, right?
We don't.
Can we do a big commercial? Like we didn't just get ad reads, Sam. I have an actual commercial, right? I sent to you on Gilded, I believe.
Oh yeah. You wanna play that now?
Yes. It is a commercial for a product that I believe in.
Oh, okay. Well, let me cue this up here then.
It's a product called Dave Grady and the Dave Grady Cinematic Universe. Big shout out to guy that thinks I'm a sellout, Iron Man, for narrating it. It was mostly his fucking he did that narration, and then I just had to put a video to it to make it funny.
I've heard
I present to you one of Dave Grady's finest few minutes of film.
I disavow.
It is a cinematic trailer for his universe. Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Let me just get rid of this pop up here. Okay. So this is the
warning.
Sam's using Netscape.
Trigger warning that Dave is a very strange person, and this is an R-rated cut of the trailer, and you might not want to put this on YouTube, Sam, because it's already banned on YouTube.
Yeah, okay. Well in that case then, if you're this might be a good time to say that if you're currently watching on YouTube, which nobody is right now, but if you are watching the replay on YouTube, then you may want to switch over to Rumble to watch the rest of the show uncut.
100% free, of course.
100% free. Yes.
I don't think there's nobody.
planning
like
to move you,
traffic.
and you'll be trespassed. And then they complain when that happens. Like it's like if the complaints should have started the day they first warned you, or you were just waiting for it in your big babies.
Yeah.
Well,
And if the complaints start that day, you have a couple days to try and resolve it.
And these
but you're not going to
universities-
because you're still big babies.
These universities are going to get drowned in lawsuits from shit like I
it's
see.
already happening.
The most blatant thing I've seen yet was just one video, and it said a lot to me. Was they just seen a kid that obviously looked Jewish, right? And they're like, "Are you a Zionist?" And I'm like, imagine if you did that, or any of like us, like supposedly not, on the far left people, walked up to just somebody that looked Jewish and like aggressively asked if you're a Zionist.
Well, imagine if I walked up to the nearest Middle Eastern looking professor on a campus and asked him how many goats he fucked that day. I mean, that's just asinine.
Yeah. It's like,
it's just an asshole move. I mean, I would expect rightfully to be remembered, named, and shamed for doing that.
Yeah. And act like a baby and break property and deflect people from fucking going to class where they paid to go to this fucking class. The fucking university's drowning in like subsidies from the government and all this other fucking shit, right? But these average kids, they pay to go to fucking class. They're trying to it's like final season, bro.
That's
They're trying to go to class.
Everyone's trying to study or do finals. Like,
imagine your GPA is like just above water and finals are coming up, and these assholes are blocking fucking Hall D. Are you kidding me?
Ugh.
Yeah,
fucking dumb.
The other thing is, like, these kids have been told, if you get, they what was it? They gave them a document and they said, sign here if you agree to all this shit, and basically we'll let you go free, scot free, doesn't matter. And they don't do that. And now they're crying about the fact that seniors are crying they're not going to be able to graduate. It's like, well, what the fuck? Did you not read the thing you wrote in big crayon letters, fuck you on? That's not a signature, jackass.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was like a revolution. Well, then you don't get your fucking degree, dummy.
God,
come back next year if you're lucky. I wouldn't even have you. If I was the dean, right?
Man.
You broke school property. You break into the hall and shit, right? You're fucking harassing people for weeks, acting like
how that's gonna turn out, though, right?
Like dirty fucking hippies. And how do you deal with hippies? You tell them to get lost. God,
how they're gonna fix all that broken property, right? Every student's activity fee is going to go up. Every student's general fee, it's all going to go up to fix all the damage they've caused.
Well, they don't care. They're not students. Most of them, they come in from buses, like on Soros.
So that's
money.
the thing. I really hope is just gonna take off is taking every outside agitator, every activist that comes from off campus who's not a student, not a professor, not staff, and throwing their asses into prison. And not for the fucking 3 years I've read for the one instance they were being charged with. I mean, for like a fucking decade. Yeah. Because 3 years is getting ready. Is 3 years is when candidates are coming around for the next election term. That's another year for them to get prepped and ready and to show up on campuses again to fuck things up. No, get their asses in prison for 2 fucking cycles. Get their asses out of this area, out of this setup, out of the whole entire consciousness of what's going on campus.
Well, and it betrays them when they're doing shit like, oh, you just look Jewish, let's fucking question you about your loyalty, right? That's
well, dude,
they're using Zionists in the same way they use Nazi, so it doesn't matter what a Zionist is.
Of course, because I'm a Zionist too. I had the Israel. You're one of the first people that like noticed in the funny way that I just set my flag as the Israeli flag to trigger people.
Yeah,
and it like works 100% of the time, no matter
during Gay Pride Month, and it works.
Yeah,
I'm never wondering, by the way, why I have so many fucking emojis in my Twitter name. It's because of the same kind of thing. That used to be a thing that triggered people, and it's still to this day as a last resort kind of thing to try and get a rise out of me. People will say, "You have too many fucking emojis in your handles." Like, yep, I do.
No, somebody called me Jewish, so I just did that as like a funny bit, and then I kept it there and then Twitter Plus came along, and it takes 3 days to get verified if you change anything. So I became like adverse to changing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so
I'm too lazy.
And I realized it was an idiot test most of the time. It's a trap, right? Because if you say some stupid shit about how much it used to be, it's just funny.
I mean, well, the next time I'm gonna try and change it is gonna be after the end of this year, where I can put PhD at the end.
Well,
what are you munching on, Craig?
Oh, dude, I have this little tiny key lime pie.
Oh, hell yeah!
Well,
fucking key lime pie, shit.
So I'm on the crust right now.
Because
Craig, one of the funniest things to me is on Easter, or as the left likes to call it, Trans Day of Remembrance. You were
you mean the president of the United States likes to call it? Go ahead.
Dump bump.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if he's really I mean, he is the president, but what's
shut up. Move on.
Move on. Anything?
No, you got a good punchline in, Sammy. Keep it going.
No, the funniest thing to me though was like all these tranny activists who were calling Craig like you're just a religious Christian bigot, and it's like actually no, he's
a religious Jewish bigot. Actually,
even better. Even better, man.
So technically, like, he doesn't even have to celebrate Easter either. He just likes to crap. He just likes to crap
celebrate Passover, and it's coming a little later this year.
Yeah.
Well, it came a little later anyway.
So
here's my question. My question to Nazis is always like, because I don't agree with the premise, but whatever, and I'm not going to argue with them. But like, if you were right, if I believed like you did that you were right, and Jews just ran everything, right? There's a trick, you know. You can actually convert. Right.
Well, I mean, you're talking about modern Nazis, because like I don't think that's what the old Nazis. I think that's part of what they were mad about, but I think they, well, I don't know. Go ahead. What was the point? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, that's it. It's like that's what I would do if I thought that was true.
Oh, convert. You would convert.
Yeah, I would convert. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very Donald Trump move, right? Like if you know what I mean? You'd be like,
and usually these guys are like,
of course I voted for Joe Biden. He won. Or you would, never mind. I'm sorry. I don't know. What
a lot of those guys I see blaming all their life's problems on Jewish people, right? And it's like, it's usually because they have a lot of problems, you know? And I guess it's an easy out in some cases is what I'm saying, but it's not helpful to them. It's very self-destructive. And if I thought it was true and I was them and I'm living that kind of life, I would convert so I have an advantage, right?
Well, you see, you're missing something that's pretty key, and actually, it came in last year or so. And that is, if you are a dyed-in-the-wool Nazi, all you really have to do is wait long enough for a Canadian Prime Minister and the entire entire Parliament to invite you in.
Woo!
God damn, that was fucking funny. Pathetic display.
Or I mean, truth be told,
I can't believe I was tricked. The enemies of Russia.
The bastard son of Castro is a big fan of Nazis. Who would have guessed it?
I mean, there's a lot of taxpayer dollars that gone to the Nazis over in Eastern Europe too. To be fair.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then the commies. You know.
What I was gonna say though, back to like 45 seconds ago or so, is that, I mean, if I know anything about fucking losers, it's they always
use the right hole.
Are looking for someone to blame other than themselves. And when Jews has been a prominent, finger place to point your finger, for whatever reason you can conjure up. It's just, especially if you're on the internet, It's very shit posty. It's very easy.
There's
very
no
easy.
discourse to be had.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, it's very easy.
I'll say
And
this.
Go ahead.
It's going back to the whole laziness thing, and you bring up with the way that you brought that up, is it just kind of sparked the thought. One of the ways, so it used to be that, one of the ways they kind of signal to each other about things is to this spawned the whole echoes thing as a meme, and the dipshits saying, "I'm taking it back," and putting it on their handles. The idea that Jews hiding their identity or claiming to be white when they're actually Jewish, etc.
Right.
And now so for example, in my experience, it's even funnier because they'll say you're Jewish. It's like, yeah, the fucking Hebrew in the bio give it away. Well, but it's such a lazy meme at this point. It's like,
right.
You're not pointing out something anybody else didn't already know, dumbass. Congratulations, you have exposed me.
The old Schrodinger's Jew bit, right?
Yeah. Well, and
that was even funnier. It's on a calendar at this point, because look, I'm one drop in both directions too far for both extremes. I'm half and half here, so that's a half of me that the Nazis are just disgusted with, and a half of me that the socialistas, the communoids, are just disgusted with. It's just it's the one drop rule in both directions, and it's equally retarded. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen, to a lesser extent, of course, but I've seen a similar discourse with like anybody that's like Christian, just as plain Jane white people, Midwestern, Southern, the places I've lived, and at least in my generation, it sort of was like everything was atheism driven, more or less. The media we were consuming, but be it music or movies or whatever. Or it wasn't overtly religious anyway. So if your parents didn't fucking push, if it wasn't inherited, you were, whatever. But the point that I was trying to make was, fuck.
Before that, let's commercial break.
Right. No. No. Hold on.
Yeah.
I remember now. No, if I've seen this as friend groups grow up and people become religious, like they become Catholic or God forbid Catholic, but whatever, any other form of Christian, and they become devout. They become like, they don't become outcasts in a lot of cases, but sometimes they do. And they are more or less ostracized and are never treated the same in a lot of ways. That's not always the case, but I have definitely seen it.
And
kind of
forced to find a new friend group, probably among whatever freaking new religion they have.
Yeah, and especially if they're like they move to the
can
community,
be toxic, right?
They move to the community and they're Mormon, and there's not Mormons in that community, or whatever. They're devout Christians, and
Mormons are an exception because they are an evil cult. But they are also the only evil cult that survives as rivals when the demons finally come to take over Earth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to read the book series for Doom.
For Doom?
For Doom.
Yeah. For Doom.
David Abhue, hilariously excellent author, very much undervalued for his talent to drive a great story. Yes, the Mormons are the fuckers who survive.
Yeah,
it's bonkers 90s novelization.
They saw the demons coming. They tried to warn everyone with their 10 wives.
And the Doom guy is Catholic in canon as well.
Yes. It's really funny. Flynn is awesome.
Yeah.
Flynn Taggart.
Anyway. Sorry to derail there.
So Doom, the horror survival video game, is about Mormons.
No.
It's about a Catholic guy saving the Mormons from the
demons. The alien demons.
The alien demons, yes.
Oh, so the Doom guy is Mormon.
No, the Doom guy is a devout Catholic who discovers during the Hell on Earth, so that would be Doom 2.
With knockoff MIDI music that represented like rip off the fucking thrash metal of the time.
It was Pantera, big inspiration.
Oh, there's a couple. There's a Slayer level for sure.
Yeah, and so I got the fucking third and fourth books when he meets the monkeys, the monkey aliens. It's interesting. So in my mind, I just kept thinking of them as looking like Bonzi Buddy because they're purple monkey aliens, but they come in twos. Like they don't understand the concept of one person.
Oh, interesting.
It just, and the best part is at the very end of the whole damn story, it's all a literary joke. Like I mean, the entire like Doom thing, like basically the whole universe is a giant literary joke. So it's
because the idea
it's a mind
Doom
fuck
lore
at
was
the end.
silly.
It's great. I mean, you can kind of tell that like he's running out of ideas and like how to ground it back into the reality of the game, and so he just kind of like leans in at the end because fuck it.
I feel like there was some substances involved.
Probably a lot of alcohol and a couple of mind altering ones.
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot of substance and a lot of science fiction writing. Come to think of it,
based.
I mean,
I don't like that word in general, but I'm really warming up to it lately because of the way it's been described by the fucking federal government. Based and red pilled or now make you a fucking extremist.
Bring it.
Well, that sounds pretty based and red pilled, doesn't it?
You know what makes me more on that side of things is that they'd say like my actual friends like that I've known for years are political extremists. You know that so if we're doing an advertisement, a big shout out to Playboy the Beast, who hit the Billboard charts after serving a bid on some bullshit charges from Jan 6th, by the way.
Oof.
He's a patriot, a father, or reformed. The reason was he had felonies, right? So he took a plea deal because he has kids and he ain't been a gangbanger in like 20 years. He's a proud boy. He's like super into Christianity and whatnot, and politics. And that's been his music lately. And so he came back with a new track called 1776, which you can get on iTunes. And also The Beast is back because he's Playboy the Beast. Check him out. That's like my dude from back in the day, Sam. You remember we talked about him when he went to jail, right? And I told you it's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
The reason it's bullshit is because he is a big Hispanic tattooed guy. And they showed me a picture of a white fat guy in a hoodie. And said this motherfucker was trespassing, and I don't kind of believe it. But
was the white fat guy in a hoodie saying, "We need to go and take over the Capitol" the night before?
But as a man and a father, he chose to do the quick bid and get the fuck back out because he had to provide for his family. And it fucking sucks that like all he did was he was at the Capitol, but he wasn't. I don't know. The picture that they showed in the media didn't look like him. Period. He's like a big MMA fighter, dude. He literally is an MMA fighter.
Well, of course not, Max, because if they showed like an actual what he actually looks like, it would destroy their narrative that that white supremacists stormed the Capitol. I mean, they act like Charlottesville and January 6th were worse than 9/11.
Or like
these
Enrique.
Dumbass motherfuckers are going to cry wolf until the fucking wolves show up. And nobody's going to believe them. And, I mean, you saw this shit with what's going on with the whole Palestine protest thing.
They're fucking coming too, man.
Yeah.
Those wolves are fucking coming. Yeah. Yeah, they're here.
They caught several terrorists that are well known for their activities in the Middle East. across our border.
And their family
One guy
members
was
too.
saying he's famous and he's gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
They caught up with him after he made it all the way to fucking New York.
Or what about the kid that the IDF killed his fucking pops? He ain't got no criminal record. He getting right through, right?
Yeah.
He got no ties except that they killed his pops. And
Yeah.
that's a powerful
what you're
fucking
gonna hear
thing.
is he was known to the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
They're
I'm
all
so
known
glad
to the
they're wasting
FBI.
their time.
It's
checking out
crazy
people
how
with
many-
fucking memes.
It's crazy how many are known to the FBI and don't get stopped by the FBI, huh? Wow, what a coincidence that they suck.
What were they known for?
They either do it or they suck at their job.
Were they known for the way they part their hair? You know, I hate that statement because it's so non-specific. What the fuck were they known for?
Right?
Sammy.
Was their third cousin 5 times removed, some sort of big guy in a cartel scene or whatever? I mean, it's how far removed is the distance, the proximity to whatever would give them an arrest cause, that they're just known to them? Is it just a name in the database? Is it a name in the Social Security database? Where the fuck are they going with this shit?
Yeah.
Vague.
We know that guy. We know that guy.
Well, that actually is. I have an author friend who used to work for the FBI, and he's going to come on in June, and like I do want to ask him some questions specifically like about this type of shit. Like I don't know if he knows, but like I kind of want to ask him like why the FBI is so incompetent at their.
Well, I think that it comes down to that vagueness. I would ask him why. What is the degree? When they say known to the FBI, exactly how vague is the connection between their knowledge of this individual and an arrestable offense? What is the proximity required to some arrestable offense for them to physically intervene?
You'd assume there's a spectrum of that, but like, where is the spectrum, bro?
Right. There's no delineation of where that line is.
Yeah. Why do they appear to be so incompetent?
Well, to me, it seems like they're more. To me, it almost seems like, and I'm being a lot of hyperbolic when I say this, but to me, it seems like they seem more concerned about like internet trolls, right now than they do like actual, people who are looking up like homemade bomb recipes or something like that.
I don't know what their priorities are, Sam, to be honest with you.
They're supplying a lot of those people with those bomb recipes. You know what I mean?
If he's a former agent, maybe you could get some answers, Sam. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I was just suggesting that maybe you pose the questions more like, why does it appear to the general public that the FBI is so incompetent that they can have these people on their radar? What does that even mean? You know what I mean? Instead of being like, combative about it.
Because it's bad optics no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
Well, here's another bad optics. What purpose
maybe,
other than intimidation does it serve to show up to someone's house and ask them about fucking memes?
Sure. Yeah. But maybe this former agent has an explanation that we out here don't have that he could give if the question is put properly,
Or like, you guys familiar with the so-called friend in the Boston Marathon bombing case where the FBI showed up to question him, and they claimed
Tsarnaev brothers.
Yeah, and they claimed that there was a struggle and the guys got shot, miraculously asking questions about.
Oh yeah, when he was hiding in a boat.
The guy they caught was hiding in a boat. Yep, but it was a friend of theirs that was just a person of interest in the case, and the FBI showed up and they said that he got aggressive with them, but we don't have any he just got shot.
Yeah, there's no body cam. Right, of course. Yeah, that was the first time in my life that I was like, oh fuck. The whole Boston bombing thing. Like I saw footage.
Oh, the Tsarnaev brothers.
Yeah, I mean, like the clear, like fucking undercover SEAL dudes that walked up with backpacks and then walked off without the backpacks before the shit blew
I know
up.
Boston well, man, and it.
Yeah,
I'm a lifelong Massachusetts guy. I live kind of far away by Mass standard. I live like an hour away. I live way closer to Providence, Rhode Island. But I kind of grew up hanging out in Boston and going there.
So what you're saying is you're a providential masshole.
Yeah, I'm like from the bottom of the state.
Well, my whole point though was like when I saw the whole martial law shit and like kicking people's doors in, like we were all be able to watch that online. I mean, it was pretty historic and it's on its face, but just to be able to see it was fucked up.
They were barrel sweeping people in their windows and shit.
Well, here's one that'll give you a bit of a mind fuck here. Imagine the previous generation watching the Vietnam War for the first time. They get to see that shit televised to them so quickly.
Yeah, right.
Relative to before, where it's just video that's come out of military documentarians. Now it's actual news organizations out there in the field with a military escort.
Sure, right.
Complete inversion of the power structure behind the propaganda that was previously distributed.
Well, yeah, you had a powerful example in Ireland where there's a footage of kids fighting soldiers. The whole battle's like on camera, and they played it on the news, and it shifted.
And then he got that wonderful song I used to torture a friend with, Zombie.
Zombie.
Among a million others, like go on home, British soldier, go on home. Have you had no fucking homes of your own? Yeah, I'm Irish enough that I know all the IRA songs, of course, and if I get drunk enough, I sing them all too, especially on St. Patty's Day.
I'm German as fuck. You gross me out, man.
See, that my green eyes must come from my dad's side, because that's the Irish English side on me. I never had to wear any green because I've always got it on me.
Nah.
Although there's always that one cunt in the class who says, "That doesn't count, pinch."
Yeah, and then you punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, and then and you go home for the day.
Yeah,
I'm just a big
win-win.
Then you go to in-school suspension for fucking a month. You dumb shit. Don't do that again.
I'm a big Irish giant. It's pretty obvious just looking at the big blue-eyed Irish dude, right? That lives in Massachusetts and was raised Catholic and couldn't be more Irish if I fucking tried.
Oh, God forbid.
Can't get a fucking...
Now
you know what's a myth for me, Sam, is this thing called a suntan? There's just pale and burn. Nope. That's it.
You ever heard of sunscreen, fool?
Yeah.
Don't matter. What SPF? You get the biggest one. I still come out. Me and my wife come out from like when we went to the gathering of the Juggalos, which is like several days. We came out marbleized, dude, and in so much pain. Would do it again 100%, probably exactly the same way, but it hurt tremendously. And like we had like caramel swirls on our legs and arms for like because where it was burned worse than others, especially her, because she thought it would be smart to like swim the whole time to stay cool while we weren't doing anything. And that made it worse. But anyway, Sam, what do you got for us?
Yeah. Oh, you want to kill it? We got more ads to read.
Well, I got one more thing. I don't know how to bring it up. I'll send it to you, Sam, in a DM.
Yeah, did you get that thing he sent you, Sam?
There's a photo, and hopefully Apex here will be able to see it, and then he can go ahead and do another ad read as far as college campuses go.
Okay.
I mean, why you should join a fraternity to hold up the American flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this picture. The one kid with the shit-eating grin and his phone out, looking at all the protesters.
Hey, Craig, I think we follow each other. You could just... Oh, you don't follow me. I'll say you could just DM me that.
Oh, come on, Craig.
I don't. Hold on. Where is he?
You just retweeted something. Apex Gamma. You just retweeted how long? 2 hours ago.
Maybe not a full ad read, but since an honorable mention I should mention is fucking I Am Batman, also helping run the Sweet Baby group and also being kind of hilarious. As usual, he's a funny guy. Follow him on Twitter.
Yes,
X.
pray for the Batman. The number 4 is involved.
X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you.
All right, well, I found you at the Apex.
There we go. All right, hit me. Ladies and gentlemen.
Base. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Look at his fucking face. It's so priceless. That smile.
That is bliss.
I did DM it to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, it's just this. Okay. It's just a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Hold on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That'll do.
That is
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
That'll
How
do.
can you top that? Those gentlemen know what
That
they're
is
doing
it.
is the right thing. They're staring down communists with a smile like true goddamn patriots.
As we all are.
My favorite fucking moment this morning was finding out that they had enough and they tore down the fucking Pally flags and put the American flags back up at 2 different
Fuck
campuses.
yeah.
New York City campus and was it UNC? Chancellor, whatever his name was personally involved in raising the flag back up. And then he gave a speech at the steps to, I guess, his office. He's just like, we're done dealing with this shit. It's the entirety of North Carolina owns this campus, not just a handful of annoying protesters. Fuck them.
Yeah,
right.
It's really weird that like they're like pro-Palestinian protesters in North Carolina.
Bro, it's just
like-
contrarian. It's just contrarian fucking angsty teenage bullshit. And they're being fed this I mean, again, they're the most online every generation since like fucking 2000 has been the most online generation in the history of the country, or the world rather, of the species.
Yeah.
And the name of the game is attention.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's attention, literally. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're getting it from Facebook or
know.
Instagram or fucking TikTok. I mean, TikTok like 6 months ago was praising Osama bin Laden and shit.
Right.
Remember that? Like, so none of this surprises me at all. You know, it's
No.
just a matter of
But
they
it's
don't have
good.
anything better to do.
It's
you
good
know?
to see these young men
None of it.
stand for something at least that I can get behind and tell these guys, get the fuck lost. Like, we go here too, and we're not hating our
fuck
fucking
you.
country.
Right. And it's amazing. It's amazing how homogenous that group is too. Ironically, maybe
Yeah,
not.
wow.
Ironically,
I just love this guy's smirk here. It's probably
That's
It's
the bliss
priceless.
shot right there.
yeah. It's the fucking Sandman. It's the Sandman thing. You know, Sandman meme.
Mhm.
Anyway, you want to kill it, Sam? We going to bed?
well, I
fine.
was just gonna
Holy
give
shit.
Craig a chance.
Oh,
to,
sorry.
To
Sorry,
shield.
sorry.
I was just gonna give Craig an opportunity to show for the. I was actually gonna DM Evan and ask for a copy for like a promotion for the Fake Untitled podcast, but I don't know if you guys have ever actually
Fake Untitled
promoted.
podcast, Sam. Tell me more.
Fake Untitled Podcast. Join
The
us
Fake
every
Untitled-
weekend where you can find me at my ass.
Hell yeah.
So subscribe on Odyssey.
To sell out for this just to make a joke about Mersh being a retard, Sam.
Fuck
This
yeah.
has been one of the funnest
Yeah.
episodes we've done in a long time.
Dude, yeah, you should do more fucking more free ad read shows. Fuck it. Send us your ad reads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can donate. There's a
we
button
might.
in the description for a million different things, but you can most importantly buy Sam's book, The Fourth Estate, which is a political.
And please,
in the
and please also leave a review. Leave a review on Amazon as well.
Yeah. I mentioned before it's quality for a paperback for the price, and it's a pretty good read.
Yeah. Oh, it's $11. It's expensive. Nah, not really.
Shut up, poor boy. Right?
Well, not for like a paperback. You know what I mean? Like a paperback to support somebody. It's a pretty low price, and it's a quality book.
It's incredible.
I sent you a video, Sam, just for later reference. I don't think this is necessarily worth showing right now. So David Horowitz at UCSD dealing with a fucking Hamas-haired retard. But this, whenever you see like they talk about SJP or SPJP, so the Justice in Palestine groups, or MSA, so the Muslim Students Association, they're all fucking financially and so materially tied to terrorist organizations like Hamas, Hezbollah, etc. And so this is just one of those great moments where,
of course,
where Horowitz just has this dumb bitch in the audience say that she's not going to answer for or against killing Jews.
The summer,
and she gets her to actually sit there in front of everyone and go, for it.
We're looking at the summer of Jewish love. How does that make you feel?
Feels like Crystal Knocked.
Yeah, I can imagine that's what it feels like, to be honest.
I am willing.
You know what it feels like? It feels like Krispy Kreme knocked. That's what it feels like.
I was going to say, I'm willing to bet
not
you.
As hard as Crystal Knocked, I guess.
I'm willing to bet you that the Jews are far better armed than they were at Crystal Knocked.
And a lot more likely to not let that happen. Yeah.
I bet you about 70% of us aren't yet, but they fucking should be. The other 30% of us voted for Republicans.
That's true.
Well, look, at least 50% of that 70 has got a really close, cousin or nephew that is well armed. That's
hell, my cousin fucking works at Bloomberg, and he is. So the thing is, people don't realize that these Jews that are voting Democrat, they're not, for the most part, are not like the loony progressive ones. Right. For the most part, they're like the rank and file Democrats who are similarly waking up and going, "What the fuck is going on?" The Democrat Party?
Yeah.
Where's my money, Joe? You know what? There's a promo. If you didn't see it this week, Afro Man out of nowhere, like the absolute legend he is.
Oh man,
because Hunter got high. Because Hunter got high.
Check that out at Based Records, right? Afro Man also did songs about when the police raided his house and took a slice of his lemon pound cake.
Yeah, and
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was very good.
So check that shit out because it made me laugh because Hunter definitely got high and fucked our whole country up. It's true.
I'll tell you what, and I can
roll a blunt, Sam. You take it home, baby.
I'll tell you what, and I can say this since we're on Rumble, and thanks once again to Rumble for having us. But if I mean, it's clear that Biden stole the election last time, right? But he's going to have to steal the election even harder if he wants to get quote unquote reelected, because like now even like groups that vote traditionally Democrats are waking up to all this like crazy.
Well, it's fucked up. Is the states going after the electors for the Republican Party who were prepared to go to vote in the Electoral College, and basically challenge the other electors as false electors. Like that became an offense that is being pursued via lawfare.
I mean,
I'm sorry, that's just fucking retarded.
I enjoy videos of the cops and rioters fighting for the sheer spectacle of it. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Shmuley actually make a sport of like just watching multiple feeds of it and laughing.
Oh, dude, it was the same in 2020, the summer.
Yeah, 2020,
Oh, yeah.
2014, 2015,
2020 was pretty peak though, man. So much shit was on fire.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, summer. Well,
I
it seems
remember.
like
I
the
remember.
summer of love is just motivated by free Palestine, right? And I can understand why that might feel like a slightly less threatening version of Crystal Knocked for sure, because it seems like it in a lot of ways, and it's a little.
Well, I mean,
like,
they're literally blocked. It's fucked up because just like the steps of the school in Germany.
These people are calling me
picture.
an anti-Semite. Like,
there's a great picture comparing when they block Jews from going to the Vienna College, and when they're blocking Jews from entering several colleges.
They
here
called
in the
me
US.
it for like, I don't know, just existing on the right, but then it's like they're literally questioning Jews about their like loyalty to the cause, you know? Holy
yes,
shit.
I spy a Star of David there, sir. Are you a fucking Zionist? Well, let's see. 95% of Jews happen to have actually read the fucking Torah. Let's just see what see what God says about it. Oh, you are promised the land. I guess that makes you a Zionist now.
Well, they're also questioning people that look slightly Jewish too, which that's the other. I guess,
no.
They're in. I mean,
funny
look,
thing.
the left they've been obviously the most racist fucking people as a political party for years now, and they just
since ever, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, right. I guess the KKK, right, was a
the KKK is
Democrat,
is what Antifa is today.
Yeah,
it's slightly different in that the KKK was founded by Democrats, but the Antifa is being used in the same manner as basically agitators to cast the
racial agitators based on political.
My favorite one is where dipshits like Dick Dispenser shows up. Sorry, Richard Spencer shows up and gives his talking points. Everyone goes, see, he's far right, etc. And then they just kind of quietly ignore it when he votes for fucking Democrats.
Sure.
And then it states specifically because they further his goals. And this is not like just a single instance. The red jumpsuit wearing dipshits, the Nazis that have been marching around like Orlando and elsewhere. Actually, pretty much like the entire East Coast, they fly up and down it. They walk around wearing with the flag out, and then they get interviewed. And obviously, they're either a psyop or they're being handled pretty well. But I mean, they all talk about they're going to vote for Biden. They voted for Biden. It's just, well, what the fuck do you think they're going to do? I mean, they think that Biden is running a gigantic psyop, but he is running one of the best little subversive campaigns that they've ever seen.
You know, it was funny. Did you see that? Dr. Jill Stein got herself arrested on purpose at a protest. Now,
and quote battered. Bullshit.
To be fair, I've met her. She's very nice, and I disagree with her on a lot of shit, but she's willing to talk to you, let's just say. And she's a very approachable person, and I have nothing bad to say about her personally. That said, what a dumb fucking thing to do.
Duh. Well, but here's the thing that a lot of them have also been failing to figure out, especially after days of doing the opposite. If you're going to get arrested, comply, because you can always fight the charge and
it's very
adding to it.
Yeah, it's very easy to just comply
in front of a judge.
It sucks, but it is very easy to just comply. You know, I mean, and
they're not going to cart you off and kill you.
Maybe I say that as a privileged white man, you know, but I've also never had any real reason. I mean, of course, I've done drugs and I've had drugs on me and I've driven fucking on various substances and shit. If you know, I mean, I've had reason to be afraid of the police. especially when I've
Well,
dealt
you more
with
had
it.
reason to be afraid of getting caught. Than
Well, exactly, right. And you don't. I mean, in those situations, you don't see people, or you don't see cops as people. You see them as like this authority figure that you know,
it's an existential threat.
Exactly. So you do whatever you can to avoid that, including lie, cheat,
it's
steal,
funny.
whatever.
So like I was talking to my dad the other day, and I said, have you seen all this shit? And we were laughing about it. I said, these people are worried about getting arrested, etc. I said, if I'd be more afraid of you guys if I was caught doing some of this dumb shit instead of studying for finals as like an undergrad. I would have had both my parents' foot so far up my ass I'd be tasting leather.
Yeah.
I'd be mortified of ever being associated with that, specifically because of that alone.
Yeah, and think of the kids that are like you.
I mean,
that
their
still
parents
exist.
are paying $100,000 a year for this
But
shit.
Craig, but Craig, the boomers protested in the 60s, and it was so awesome, and idolize it and worship it, and it was so cool. The hippies, they said no, right? And they stood up for justice and stuff, and we're gonna be just like them.
I mean, how's the? I don't remember how
Fuck
exactly
you.
generational shit goes. Like my great grandfather.
I don't know why they added "fuck Jews" to the mix. I guess because the Gaza thing's the hot issue, but like it is definitely their message is like all that. Let's fuck Jews. That's what I get out of watching some of the raw footage of the protest. Right? Is their message is pretty clear.
My favorite part is when they spout the river to the sea bit, and then they never actually explain what they want the Jews to do.
Yeah, they don't have an idea.
The protesters that are useful idiots, they don't understand it, and when they are told what it means, they don't quite they're like, well, that can't be right. It's like jihad. It means several different things. Like no.
It's like a poem. It doesn't mean it's like not literal. Jesus.
Don't you understand it's a genocide?
This is why I like the
babies are dying, Craig.
I like the countering poem though a lot better. From the city to the plaza, send these fuckers off to Gaza.
Or somebody think of the brown children.
You gotta quit yelling.
Yes, the AI generated brown children with 3 legs and 70 fingers.
Apologies.
That's all right.
Well, I think we should wrap this up. It's like it's close to 1:30 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Woodford Report. Speaking of ads, buy Sammy's new book on Amazon. Link is in the description. It's The Fourth Estate on paperback. That's right. Thank you, Craig, very much for coming on. It was very much a pleasure to speak with you for the first time. Hopefully we can do that again. Sammy, Max, I love you both. I'm not trying to end the show. I'm just saying my piece before you end the show. So thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Anyway.
We're going to double dose on Sam for the finale.
Oh, you're welcome. And thanks to
That's
all
the
of
Fifth Estate.
our
Find it on Amazon.
Yeah, the Fourth Estate. So
that's the Sixth Estate. Find it on Amazon. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. Go ahead, please close out.
And
I just like
thanks to all of our advertisers for pitching your products, and Mersh, suck my dick. I'm better at reading ads than you. So. Good night, everyone.
Insert horse